I believe firmly young ladies are damaged mentally by having too many partners.
I think men are too,
Okay.
though. I think
no,
men
they're
are
not.
too.
Men,
I think men are too.
Hookup culture hurts women far more than it
I
hurts
agree.
men.
It hurts women more, but I think men are like, I don't think men realize how damaging it is as well to them.
No, maybe. Of course, there's damage to all people, but men are wired differently where many sexual partners for men does not hurt men nearly as much as many sexual partners for women, because women are far more relational driven and far more bond driven. So they look at sex as a culmination of a bond, where men look at it as sex, as physical, purely, not always with those other elements, unless there is a component of we're going to try to develop a long-lasting bond here. And the question is...
So do you think that men have driven hookup culture then because they don't care about it as much?
I think that it's both. I think women are driving it too. I think it's both.
But you're saying that when women have sex, they need to have that bond, and they're more concerned.
That's how they're wired.
Yeah, so women are wired to want to have a bond when they're having sex with someone.
That's correct.
But men don't care. So would you not think that men are driving hookup culture then?
No, I think both sides are. I mean, I think that men are driving because women are making themselves available. That's the point.
Because they think it's going to be a longer bond.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's kind of...
Yes.
No, of course. And women should know male nature before they start sleeping around with men.
Hold on. So is it a woman's fault or is it the man's fault?
It's both. If every woman today that was marketable, and all of you guys are on the market, correct, looking for life partners?
I've never been on the market.
Okay.
Okay, no, she's
But if
lying.
every one of you, it's simple supply and demand. If you said, we're off limits until the ring is there and the priest says the final vows, how would men react, hypothetically?
They would
That
hop
would
on
decrease half the dating pool, probably, at least.
I totally disagree, because we know what that world looks like. We used to have it 50 or 60 years ago. You know what? Men grow up quicker. They stop being man-childs and infants.
So you're one of the ones who also probably argues against there's sexual chemistry and stuff like that. You probably argue no, that's
No,
not
I think
real,
sexual
or...
chemistry is a real thing, but it's a culmination of different types of love that are not just erotic. There are deeper types of love that transcend the physical. Physical is part of it. Sexual compatibility, as you say, is a huge part of the relationship. But all of you know this. You could have a partner where you had great sex and you have nothing in common. That's not a relationship. That's a orgasm and a one-night stand or whatever.
That's a situationship.
Yeah, okay, it's fine, a situationship. That's not something to build a life around.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay, so no, we're not disagreeing. I just, without legislation or big decrees, I know this, that men have very primal, undeveloped, immature sexual natures, and that is not going to change.
So should
However,
women be punished for men taking advantage of women for that?
I'm not punishing. I'm not talking about anything. I'm talking about cultural stuff, not legislation
No,
or
I'm
punishing.
asking about hookup culture again. But sorry,
But
I'll shut
if women want a man that they are worthy of, and many of you are not getting men you are worthy of, then you need to then stop giving the one thing that men want the most. And that is unlimited amounts of sex all the time, bodies on the internet, because men will only view you as a visual stimulation and they'll move on. And if you disagree, you do not understand male nature.
But the thing is men will treat you like that and talk to you like that, whether you want to do it or not. Because these two don't do OF. I do OF. Their Twitch chats are just as degenerate as mine, because people come in there and say the most horrible things.
You're all
to
very
them.
talented. You're smart. You guys shouldn't be doing any of that. You shouldn't. Stop doing
Twitch?
that.
What do you mean?
Stop
We play video
I'm saying this
games.
as someone who cares about humanity. Stop selling your body on the internet. You're a lot smarter
We're
than
playing
that.
video games.
Well, yeah, we
Okay.
play
I play
World of Warcraft
Warcraft.
online.
You said
Like
you're doing
what?
Yes?
I do. They don't, and
I'm
they get
talking to
just as
you.
horrible comments as I do. No, that's what I'm saying.
Okay,
That's
but
my
no, you're
argument.
making my argument. Men's
No.
sexual nature is very degenerative.
And
Okay?
I'm saying that.
How do you lift it up? You lift it up by saying you don't get what you want the most until you commit.
But the thing is hold on. So
you are then
Because-
leading. You need to lead men
Hold
towards
on.
a better future.
Because I'm not doing anything more crazy than they are. Okay, I'm not
Isn't
doing
that fair?
I'm not doing anything more crazy than they are.
I'm not trying to ridicule you guys.
No,
That's not why I'm here.
care.
Okay?
I don't care. You can say whatever you want, but I'm saying they're getting the same degenerate comments that I am on Twitch streams.
Because
when
you're
they're
now
on
seeing a
Zoom.
window into men's sexual nature.
And that's what I'm saying. So
But
if
how
they're-
then do you lift it up? Do you lift it up by giving more sex and more
But they're-
bodies and
they're
more pictures?
always gonna treat us
That's
this
a
way.
So that's
They're
interesting.
always gonna treat
no,
us
no,
this
that's
way.
not true.
Yes, they will.
Let me tell you.
Yes, they will.
Men can grow up, but they need a goal. No, this is very. If you don't believe that, then you basically are dismissing all of
It's
humanity.
not that I can't believe that men will grow up.
Hear
it's
me
that,
out.
It's that
Men love being useful.
This is
Make
fine.
them be
Men
useful.
want a purpose. They want to go on an adventure. And so if you say, you can be with me, but here's the rules of the road.
Okay, but I'm on the internet, and there's how many thousands of hundreds of millions of men on the internet? I can't fix all of them.
I'm not asking you to fix all of them. You want to change the world, start with changing you.
It doesn't matter. They're not even doing OF,
Hold on,
and they're still getting treated like
Hold
garbage.
on. So again, if you believe that what you do doesn't matter, then you're a nihilist and just do whatever you
It's
want.
not even about me doing OF. It's about the way that men treat you when you're a woman.
So that's this is the point, though, is that how do you get treated better by men? One sec. Let me ask you a question. Do you think you get treated by men better by showing more skin or less skin?
Obviously, if you show less skin.
Okay, so you agree.
But hold on, because even when you show less skin, there's women in full-blown covered-up burqas, and they still get sexualized. They still get acid thrown on them. They still get R-worded in the middle of the street. Like, what are you talking about?
Okay, I don't agree with that at all. Okay,
That's
so if you
crazy.
want, men's sexual nature on the internet, you are seeing a window into the depraved because there's no guardrails and there's no guidelines. So how do you lift up that primal carnal sexual nature towards something that is no longer?
Why is that my responsibility to lift up their?
Hold on. It's not your responsibility. It's humanity's responsibility. But I would imagine you want a life partner at some point. Yes? No?
I'll figure it out when they come to me. I'm not gonna.
Okay,
Every man that
let me
is
tell
in
you,
my direction.
doing you're not going to find a life partner.
That's totally fine. I don't care.
Yes, she is, though. Come on.
No, that's
there,
your point.
there, there
No,
is
hold on a
so
second.
many people who
Hold on.
want to
Hold on.
marry her.
If you think that you can find a virtuous, ethical man who tells the truth by showing a lot of skin online, you do not understand male sexual
and
nature. You do not. And I don't profess to know female sexual nature.
So we talked about this a little bit.
Men want what they cannot see and they cannot have. Men want rarity, scarcity, and mystery. They do not want abundance and cleavage and skin.
Okay,
So
can
what
we
do
get
you
the
think
same
of-
for men? Can you guys stop sledding it up, please?
No, I'm not saying. I am asking. I mean, men have plenty of. What have I just said? I said men's sexual nature is degenerative. I couldn't be more cruel on male's primal carnal instincts. The question is, how do you lift us up to something better? Yes.
So we talked about this before. What's the difference between? So she does only lingerie pictures, right? So what's the difference between her and Gigi Hadid or any Victoria's Secret model, right?
Well, there's
other
not.
model.
I mean, is Gigi Hadid in a really great relationship and doing great? I mean, I believe one of them has clinical depression.
She's dating Bradley Cooper, I think.
Most celebrity relationships last 6 or 7 years, maybe.
Well,
Yeah.
so your point is that they divorce more often, or what's
Well, I
the
mean,
point?
I'm asking if you want.
Are you saying she
again? If you're looking for celebrities for life partner roadmaps, you're looking at the wrong people. Okay. I mean, I'm asking.
So you're fine with comparing that and being oh yeah, they're both not. They can't find
I'm
high
not
value
saying
men or whatever you're claiming.
I am very short on their long-term prospects of being a couple for the next 30 years. I mean, if that's their question. But if you do not have to create a new roadmap. When women were more modest in their presentations, when women were more humble in their
Was
in
that
their life's work.
necessarily a woman being humble, or was that also the laws of the day and age where they could?
No, in the 1950s, the laws were fine. I mean,
You couldn't get a divorce because you never had a job. You couldn't get out of the relationship. What are you talking about?
No fault divorce ended in the 60s or 70s. You could still get a divorce. It just
Yeah,
was
but
harder.
you had no job. You had no prospects. You had nothing. You had
That's a
children
separate
to
issue.
take
I
care
don't.
of.
You're getting too far off track.
Oops.
I'm asking a theoretical question. If more women than not made a commitment that we want a life partner, I think the reason why you all and women are willing to engage in hookup culture, even though you know it's destructive, hold on a second, even though you know it's bad for you, is because deep down women tend to be more insecure than men, and you think that you can get praise from men by doing this, and it gives you temporary security, and you're willing to then sacrifice long-term viability of finding a life partner for that temporary security.
You also
My
just
advice.
put that on me. I don't engage in hookup culture at all.
Okay, that's fine. I'm just saying more broadly, though.
Stop the cap.
More broadly, if women were willing to actually say that I am not going to present myself online, I'm not going to give myself, you would actually have more male suitors, not less.
I'm not worried about that. I'm not worried about more
okay,
or less
but
male suitors.
How about good ones, great ones, ones that you feel as if this is the best man I've ever
I'll get there when
met?
I need to get there.
Great men are hard to find. They are. I could say this.
And I'll get there when
being
I need
around
to
a
get
lot
there.
of them. Okay.
And I'll get
All
there
right.
when I need to get
Do you
there.
have? So let me ask you: what is more important in your life, good career or great marriage and family?
I want my bills paid, so whatever takes the cake.
Well, good husband can pay the bills too.
Yeah, and I'm not necessarily looking for a good husband right now because I'm not
fair
looking
enough.
around.
Okay. Any other thoughts on that?
Do you have a point?
I was just,
Sorry, I kind of
No, it's great.
dominated there.
If you
Yeah.
want, keep going.
I guess I am pretty jaded on this conversation. I didn't get to do the introductions, but I do
management. And I think so I read a lot of messages. I'm not on the site myself, but I read a lot of messages. And it kind of sucks because you see so many messages coming in daily that are like, I wish I wasn't with my ugly wife right now. You're so much hotter. So like for me as someone who's single and like in their 20s, it's hard to be like, yeah, I'm going to be a really perfect woman for like these kind of men. Does that
I'm gonna
make
be
sense?
honest.
You know?
I even got that being on your podcast. I even got a message on my own from your podcast being like, my girlfriend is so disgusting. I don't like her. I subbed to your OnlyFans because you're so much better than her.
It's
You can do
really
everything you
hard
want.
to see both these conversations.
No, that's okay, but you're actually proving my point, is you're seeing a window into the depraved male sexual nature. So then you have a choice. You can say, forget all men and become a lesbian and like just forget it, right?
I don't do.
No, I'm not saying you want to do that,
No,
right?
yeah.
Or you could be like, I actually think that men have a proper role in society. Most men today are grown infants. And women have a you don't agree with that?
Well, no, I agree that they're grown infants, but it's not my job to fix you.
I'm not saying it's your job to fix you. You have a moral obligation not to make it worse.
Well, how am I making it worse? Because I have an OnlyFans?
Yeah, I'd say that you're participating
Okay,
in that.
but so what exactly have
If
All
you-
your it's all your fault.
No, I'm not saying it's all your fault, but
it's
if
a
you,
lot,
but I'm
Julie.
saying this as agreeably as I can. If you are producing sexually explicit content online, you
Yeah.
are increasing the supply,
And so I'm
not decreasing the supply.
So even if I didn't have an OnlyFans,
Even though you're a small part of it, I get it.
okay, even if I didn't have OnlyFans, the comments that I've gotten on all of my social media without it have been even more degrading than the comments I've gotten on my OnlyFans.
Got it. So, but you're blaming the comments for your action, not taking
No.
responsibility for your action.
No, because even if I post a selfie of just my face, they're gonna be like, I want to all over that. I'm like, I mean, a cookie.
Okay, but again, you're seeing a window into the depraved sexual nature. And
So how is that my issue? Fix it yourself, you weirdo.
okay, but you're right. That could be an attitude, and that has been the attitude the last 30 years. Where has it gotten us? Less people married,
So-
less people in happy relationships.
So
So
is it- are
both
you-
sides have work to do. If
are
you were a
you
panel of men, I'd be talking
Are
completely
you saying
different.
it's a woman's
It's both.
job to
I have-
fix men from being depraved,
I
or
have
what are you
both. I
saying
have an entire
here?
chapter of this book about how we should ban pornography.
sign that for me later? I'll
you're,
buy it.
You're getting close to earning it.
I earned it.
But no, I have an entire chapter of this book on how men need to stop watching and stop being.
No, I agree. I
so
don't watch
both
pornography
sides
at all. I don't think
both
anyone
sides
should.
have growth to do,
I don't
but
think
we're here at a
anyone should.
female-driven panel, so I'm trying to.
Yeah, no.
You know.
Well, hold
so
on.
anyway.
Let me throw a little hand.
Anyway,
Wait,
I
so
yes,
you-
and then
you
I'm
wanna
way over
ban-
time, but yeah.
You want to ban?
Yes,
I agree.
absolutely.
I totally
you're in
agree.
You
favor?
agree.
I agree.
But so you're on OnlyFans, so help me
yeah, but I
reconcile
don't
that.
do.
Is it lingerie? You said?
Yeah.
It's borderline, but yeah.
Yeah,
so,
borderline, but it's a Victoria's Secret model.
Fair
You can't-
enough. Yeah, okay.
so.
You do. Are you in favor? Do you object to Charlie's position on banning,
Yeah.
which would correspondingly, you're in favor of it?
You earned a
Wait,
book
do
with
you
your
mean
stance.
like if I'm like against it?
Is that Kit Kat Julie? Send
So
Julie.
he wants to ban, so you'd be banning what you do.
Oh, then no.
I'm so excited.
I say, Julie, ban.
I'm taking this all the way back. I'm taking this all the way back to Canada.
It literally says Julie ban.
Back to Canada.
all the way back
Speaking
to
of Canada, Charlie, do you think we should annex Canada?
No.
No, I don't want Canada.